हेलो दोस्तों, स्वागत है आप सभी का हमारे चैनल इग्नू सेंटर पर। तो दोस्तों, आप सभी को हमने प्रीवियस पार्ट में क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 और क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 कराया था एक्सपेक्ट ऑफ द लैंग्वेज एमएजी 04 से। और आज हम कराएंगे इस पार्ट पर, यानी पार्ट 3 है ये आपका जो वीडियो बन रहा है, उस पर क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 और 5 कराने जाएंगे। तो दोस्तों, आपका जो क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 होगा वो होगा डिस्कस केस thematic rules and theta theory by citing relevant example। और इसका जो आंसर रहेगा वो रहेगा आपका। तो दोस्तों, आंसर लिखने से पहले आप अपना जो पेन पेपर है वो रेडी रखिए ताकि आपको सुविधा हो आंसर लिखने में। और अगर आप हमारे चैनल के साथ नए जुड़े हैं तो कृपया चैनल को सब्सक्राइब, लाइक और शेयर जरूर कर दीजिएगा। तो दोस्तों, बढ़ते हैं आंसर की तरफ। तो आपका आंसर रहेगा ह्यूमन बीइंग पोसेसेस एन innate ability to determine whether or not a sentence or phrase is grammatical. These judgments are not based on prescribed grammatical rules such as do not use double negative, but rather on intuition. For example, if asked to judge whether or not the sentence Batman fell was grammatical, would you would not hesitate to respond yes. The same judgment would apply to the sentence Batman waxed the Batman-mobile. You would also deemed Batman bought a towel as grammatical, but not Batman brought or Batman slept on the floor. These institutions are largely based on the cinetic and semantic properties of a verb required by a language's specific rules or constraints, and you know what yours are without too much reflection. Centrality of the verb. Verbs are the central component of any utterance. Thus, your institution in the sentence above were based on whether or not all the part of the verb phrase were included or not. For instance, sleep cannot be followed by a direct object and brought must be. These cinetic requirements are referred to as subcategorization frames. Subcategorization frames provide information about what type of phases a verb requires. Here are some examples. So friends, while writing your examples, you have to write in a row. Make a 2 columns, verbs and argument, and then in verb write love, give, sleep, want, and then in argument you have to write the above. In love you have to write subject, direct object. Number 2, in give you have to write subject, direct object, indirect object. Number 3, sleep you have to write subject. Number 4, you have to write subject, direct object and sequential component. Without giving any full stop on it, make a comma on direct object and then continue on sequential component. Then we have moved to our next topic, symmetric selection. So we see that verbs impose both structural and semantic restriction, which are expressed as semantic roles or thematic roles. Theta roles, the verb hit requires an animate subject that initially carries out the hitting and on an object that is hittable. This accounts for the fact that A is grammatical and B is not, even though the subject categorization frame is cinetically sound. This is also true for the second row. The verb hopes required a prepositional phrase as its complement. However, there are semantic restrictions on which preposition can be used. And then we have our next topic, that is Theta Theory. Theta Theory addresses the specific semantic relationship between a verb and its argument. Verb assign thematic roles, theta roles to its NP that is obligatory must be included in the verb phases. Theta theory requires that theta criteria be fulfilled in order for a verb to use grammatical. Then we have next topic, theta criterion. Each argument may receive one and only one theta role, and each theta role may be assigned to one and only one argument. Thus, there is a one-to-one relationship between argument of a verb and theta roles. Then we have theta grid. The theta roles of each NP are stated in a verb theta grid. This is where we see all obligatory argument and how they are symmetrically related to the verb. The format for this grid is as follows. Examples: hit, cagent, theme. Offer, agent, theme, benefitive. And then we have thematic roles. The argument which a verb assigned are refers to as thematic or theta rules. And then we have major theta rules included. Number 1, agent, the entity that intentionally carries out the action of the verb. And then we have experiencer, the entity that undergoes an emotion, a state of being, or a preposition expressed by the verb. And then we have theme, the entity that directly receives the actions of the verb. Then we have instrument, the entity by which the action of the verb is carried out. Then we have goal, the direction towards which the action of the verb moves. Then we have source, the direction from which the actions originates. Then we have location, the location where the actions of the verb taken place. And then in last we have benefactive, the entity that receives a concentric or abstract element as a result of the action of the verb. So friend, till here your number 4 question is finished, and now we move to the next question, which is number 5. And in these questions we have to filling the blank space in the following sentence. Now let's move in first question. And the question is number 1, a consonant during the articulation of which the vocal cords vibrate is called dash consonant, and the answer is voiceless. And in number 2 we have a consonant during the articulation of which there is no velic opening or the oral cavity is closed, then it is called a dash consonant, and the answer is bilabial consonant. Number 3, the difference between a plosive and an affricate is that during the articulation of plosive the release of air is dash, and during the articulation of affricates the release is dash, and the answer is high and low. Now move to next question, which is number 4. Allophones are dash of the same dash, and the answer is complementary distribution and sound. Number 5, vowels are more precise articulation than consonant. There is little or no dash in the production of vowel, and the answer is precise articulation. And number 2, differences. And 6, we have dash ki tb is a sound which is present in your mother tongue but not in English. Use IPA to indicate the sound, and the answer is kitab. Now move to the next question, which is number 7. Pack is a voiceless bilabial plosive, and dash is a voiced alveolar lateral phoneme in English. Use IPA to indicate the phoneme, and the answer is light. Question number 8. A speech sound which pattern like a consonant but is phonetically a brief vowel such as W in win is called a dash, and the answer is semi-vowels. Number 9. Fricatives are produced by a dash in the vocal tract so as to and the answer is phonetic. And the next question is number 10, which was our last question, and the question was the dash vowel serves as point of reference for identifying rare vowel in actual language, and the answer is phonetic. So friends, hope this video helped for your assignment, and if you want more information regarding your Ignou, please give a subscribe to our channel, like, share and comment. Thank you for attending this video session.